Well, hello, and deep gratitude for your being with me here again today, where we're going to talk about the seed of shyness. Now, I'm bringing some of these to light for you. So, number one, you can relate to maybe a story that I give of my own. If I have one, it makes the subject relatable for you, but also it kind of builds some awareness. Now, when you go out for a qhht or quantum healing hypnosis technique session, it is a healing hypnotherapy, not just past life regression, but primarily healing. It is meant to be that. Think of that as the speed reading version of dealing with all of these things. But when you have that awareness in the beginning, you need to know what to ask for, right? So you know a little bit ahead of time what to ask for. And you know what? Take it easy on yourself. You don't have to know everything because it will come out in the session anyway, but it really kind of helps for you to consider, wow, I really didn't realize that I have this that I should be dealing with, and maybe I really need to seek out someone who can give me that opportunity for a session. And we'll deal with this like right off the bat. It'll be taken care of, believe me. So you are here for a purpose and a reason. And because of that, I thank you for being obedient and listening to the inner part of yourself. And today, as we deal with the seed of shyness, I hope that you find something that you can glean that will help bring some awareness and then therefore some healing for yourself. Okay? So the seed of shyness is usually brought about in our childhood. Have you ever heard that expression that young people should be seen and not heard? In other words, we don't have a voice. I don't understand, except for maybe thinking or considering it must be something of the times that just kind of went around during that period of time when a lot of people were growing up, that we were supposed to be seen and not heard. And that is the biggest dishonor of who we are as people, because right now especially, a lot of children are coming into this 5D world and they are awake and aware. And a lot of us, even when we came into this world, we were and still are awake and aware. And we know or knew from the very beginning that that tenet that children should be seen and not heard was not a good deal. And we had to fight. We didn't want to be disrespectful to our parents or our caregivers or those who brought us up. But we had this stuff inside of us because we were born in this world where we're awake and aware and we have so much to offer, but yet we felt shut down. So what shyness basically is, even though people tend to think that shyness is a personality issue, that, they're just very shy. And a lot of this was fostered in some of our growing up. So-and-so is just very shy. She doesn't talk, or he doesn't talk to a lot of people. But when the shyness becomes oppressive and it moves into the rest of your life, it becomes something that is life-altering and you're not able to live your best life. So what happens with shyness is the seed is planted and the roots begin to grow, and what they translate to is fear. Shyness is not a personality disorder, folks. It is fear. Fear of speaking your truth, fear of being who you are, fear that you will be looked upon or even punished for saying something that might be very illuminating because you're awake and aware, or maybe you just have something that you need to get out emotionally, but you can't because you have this oppression. And I know that we're all born into this world with a contract. It might not be that You know, you're supposed to have oppression, but if you do, you're meant to overcome that. So I hope some of this will help you understand that. So when you have that seed of shyness and the roots have been growing in the deep in the darkness, how it can affect your life is you won't step up to the plate when you really feel the need or the urge or the desire to maybe move into a different aspect of your life or understanding. You want to take the giftedness that you are to the world and to others who are around you. And that is what we are meant to do. So when you have that fear that's been installed or instilled in you, what happens if it's allowed to just be let go because you're not really conscious of it? Remember, as we're growing up, we're becoming responsible, we're having children, we're raising children, we're distracted, we're going out to jobs or starting businesses, and we're very, very busy. And our busyness and not slowing down and taking the opportunity to go within and see, is there anything I need to deal with, kind of is a great disservice to us, because we don't really see that we're taking that seed of fear out through our life and we're not living our best life. And what happens is the fear will shut down our ability to speak our truth. It shuts down eventually our throat chakra, or the energy center of the throat. Eventually, physically, it will affect the thyroid area and all of the glands and you know, the anatomy of the throat and neck. It can affect your upper heart area, and your heart will actually ache eventually for not being able to speak out. I care about you, I love you, or maybe you're doing something maybe in a wrong way or a way that doesn't serve you. And because you're doing that, it's holding you back, or not being able to speak. No, don't do that. I don't accept that in my life. Not being able to speak your truth kind of disables you to actually set up your boundaries. And it could become overwhelming to the point where you're like a volcano, and eventually, boom, you know, it just explodes with lava and stuff out on everything and everybody and every situation. This is you having things and, you know, build up and pressure built up inside, just like the volcano. I think volcanoes probably had a fear thing. I don't know. I don't take that in. It's just something that weird came to me. Anyway, you have this stuff and it's pressed down, and it is keeping you from stepping forward into your life. You know, when I was growing up, I was raised in a household where there was just too much overbearing, I think, and this again is no disservice to my parents. They were lovely people, they're beautiful people. I cherish them very much. They gave me everything that I needed to be who I am, and I'm so grateful and thankful for that. They helped me learn as a soul to overcome. And because I gained that strength in overcoming, I overcame a lot of stuff in my life. So thank you to my parents. I love you so much. But there was an overbearing air in, you know, their relationship, and I kind of shrunk back and was extremely shy in, you know, growing up. And that shyness was just translated as a personality thing. That's how she is. But that isn't how she is. Look at me. That's not how I am. It was fear, being afraid that I'm going to disrupt the harmony, or I'm going to disrupt my parents and tell them something that they're not ready even to hear. Because not all of us growing up are awake and aware. Some of us are, and right now a lot of us are. And so I don't want to disrespect my parents at that point. I wanted to be respectful, and that held me back, actually. And the ability to speak my truth was held back as well. But what brought me out, and this is the crazy thing, is I used to attend a very charismatic Assemblies of God church, very large, and that church had a very charismatic preacher. And I was in awe of his spiritual gift and his ability to speak and his ability to absolutely compel the room. Tons of people in the room at one time, right? And there was something about that stirred something inside of me. It was like, wow, this man has a spiritual platform that I love and aspire to. And he spoke out something during one of the services, is that some of you out there are going to become preachers and some of you are women. And that was all I needed to hear. And I wanted that. I wanted that so much. It stirred my emotion. Now, emotion is something that is a component that is a part of manifesting. And my emotion grew within that so much that eventually I manifested becoming an ordained minister. I went through a 2-year seminary, my very first degree in theology, and I became a preacher. I was a public speaker. This woman that as a child would not even speak to her own grandparents often because I was so shy. I was afraid of offending anybody. And so therefore I wasn't myself. So the real person was coming out in those early days and learning how to also speak to my children and, get them into alignment with how they're supposed to be as they're growing up. You're not supposed to do this. Don't do this. This is, offensive or whatever, whether they wanted to hear it or not. Okay. And not all, they didn't always want to hear it, but, I did my best. But fear can hold you back from so many things. If you do anything in life, if you have a passion in life, and by the way, becoming a preacher opened up my throat chakra big time. I don't have any thyroid issues. I don't have any upper heart issues, just a little bit of burning from grief, that's another subject. But fear can really hold you back. And I just want to encourage you. Allow whatever that emotion that is stirring up inside of you. If you see something and you think to yourself, this is not going away. I really need to do this. I need to speak this. I need to be this. This is for me. Chances are, if it doesn't go away, it's a part of your purpose, or there are boundaries that you need to set. Take a chance, open that throat area, allow it to come out your mouth, whatever you need to say or whatever you need to do. Let it be like the volcano. Allow the lava to flow, no matter how it comes out. Be safe. But if it comes out kind of disturbing, you might be crying, you might be, loud, okay? Yay, good for you, because if you're shy and you have that fear and you grow up in that and it's holding you back, allowing it to burst forward with a loud voice, hello, open that throat chakra. And again, be safe, be respectful, but allow it to happen, because your life can dramatically change just by that. And it will help your body as well. So I really want to encourage you. Think about your boundaries. Are you setting boundaries with people? Or are you holding back because you're afraid of offending them? It's another thing. We're so afraid of offense. We think people won't like us. One of the biggest human needs besides love is acceptance. And so if you're afraid, consider this. Consider it. Take a chance. If you have to, practice in the mirror. Say it out loud to yourself. Record it. Listen to it every single night of your life before you go to sleep. I guarantee you, if the emotion is strong enough, if the desire is big enough, you'll do it. You will go into action and your mouth is going to open and your throat chakra and your upper heart area, your whole body, your whole life path will thank you. There was a time I had to confront my employer in the past. They were doing something that was wrong. It was affecting my life. And one day I thought to myself, I'm not taking this anymore. So I pulled my employer into her office. I was second in command. And I said, I will not accept this anymore. Not only was I setting boundaries with someone who supposedly has some authority over me, but it sent me into another avenue of employment. I left that job because they would not change. And I made a change. And it gave me more experience that eventually translated into part of my life path. So, life-changing stuff here. I hope that it's helping you. And I want to just reinforce this. Think about this very, very deeply. Meditate on it in your life. And don't be afraid if it comes out what you think is wrong. It's going to come out however it comes out. Okay? Don't be afraid of who you are. You are important. You are. And I want you to remember that always. Not to mention, I'm loving you from here. I want to send you many blessings. I want to just say namaste, and I'll talk to you again real soon. I hope that this has been so helpful for you. Bye-bye.